Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to another live stream. It's your host, Tech here, and we're going to be expecting a guest in the matter of minutes. Um, I just want to come on and talk to you guys, say hi to you guys, see what's going on. I haven't live streamed in a little bit, so I thought, hey, why not? Um, and I am having Michael Pepper in just a few minutes to discuss Green Room and why I think it's one of the greatest apps, and it really, really should be known. But we'll talk about that in a little bit once Michael gets here. Miles, I see you in the chat. What's up, man? What's up? How you doing, man? Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Um, what's everybody been up to? I'm gonna see if Michael has said anything to me. All right, he has not said anything, so we'll just have to wait a few minutes and see where he's at. Um, so I have a video or two that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully, I can get that out next week. And I am going to be planning. I have to shoot somebody a message either tonight or tomorrow to see if I can go and do a Spotify Green Room um, thing with a new creator that I found. Really legit creator. His name is Thelch. I'm not really sure if you guys know about him, but yeah. Miles, you leaving me already, man? What's going on, man? Got better things to do? What's going on? What's going on? Um, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully, I can get that done on Friday at some point. Um, let's see. Not really much that I can think about in the back of my head, but you're laggy, bro. What do you mean I'm laggy? What's going on? Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna close the app and then relaunch it. Maybe that will help. Let's see. All right, let me know if that did anything. If it looks better, sounds better, let me know. All right, let me know if that did anything. If it looks better, yeah, it looks good on my end. So we'll see what happens during the stream here. Still waiting on Michael. So let's see. I know I told him 7 o'clock, so I did start a little bit early. Let's see. I'm gonna try to shoot him a message and see if he can. All right, good. Yeah, it looks better. So awesome. What do you guys think about this camera angle, by the way? I'm gonna get the stream here. One sec, guys. That way I can keep tabs on everything that's going on. All right, and all right, good. I love how it counts yourself as a viewer whenever you're watching. Because I'm watching myself right now and it says that I have 3 people. That's awesome. Um, so let me ask you guys. I'll probably ask again later, but how many of you guys have actually tried Green Room? Like actually not listen to a room, but actually be in a room with other people. Miles, by the way, if you want in, let me know and I can invite you in. I'll definitely I can definitely send you a link if you want, man. Actually, if anybody wants a link, let me know. And I'll definitely send it over to you guys. I'm always up to having new people come on and share their love of tech. It's 1 minute to 7 o'clock, so actually, now that I think about it, I good. Got that going. I should have waited it out for Michael, but I thought, why not get people on here and talk? But nobody's talking. Everybody's sleeping. What's going on? What's going on with you guys today? And I just shook my whole table. I just looked at myself doing that on the live stream here. Jeez. Let's see. Any news lately to talk about or anything? Hmm. Hey, if anybody has Michael's number or something, shoot him a message and let him know that I'm live and waiting on him. I'm not sure what's going on. He's not responding to my DMs. And I don't know what's going on here. Hopefully he didn't forget about us. I mean, I only retweeted about this stream 100,000 times, so I'm going to actually turn on the light here. I have the light on my phone and it was blinding me because it was too close, so I'm going to add that one. So I decided, I know I've said this before, I decided to go back to using my phone because the other webcam that I was using was complete trash. So I'm glad I did that. I still want to get a secondary device to use because I don't like using my phone all the time. You know? Yo, yo, yo! Night Karma 296. What's going on, bro? What's good? What's good, man? I'm just waiting on my guest here to arrive. Hopefully, he'll arrive shortly. And then we can get started with the conversation that I want to have with you guys. How you doing, man? How you doing? Technically, Michael is not late. I am early. Okay, I was really, really early doing the beginning of the live stream because I was bored and I didn't want to wait. And I thought, maybe people will join, have a conversation with me. And yeah, you guys, there's just Miles and now my friend Night Karma 296. So, Miles, you don't want it in? I can send you a link, man. Hang out for a little bit. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, so I see that Michael has popped up. Michael just uh, write in the private chat that you're all set to come in, and I will add you in, man. All right, in the meantime, I actually want to see something here. And I want you guys in the chat to let me know, is this, well, hang on. Is this angle better? Wait. Is this angle better or the other way? This way. Let me know in the chat. What way do you guys like it? Because I kind of feel a little weird. I think I've always had it like this, so this kind of makes more sense, but the way you have it now. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, we good to go, Michael? What's up, man?
Howdy.
How are you?
Good.
Awesome to have you. I don't remember the last time I had you on a live stream, bro.
uh,
Couple
been
months.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah. How have you been? What's going on? What's new?
Not a lot is new other than my second channel that I started. And anybody that's watching that doesn't know, I started well, for one, I should probably introduce myself just in case, but my name is Michael Pepper of Michael Pepper Tech. The MPT down at the bottom just is Michael Pepper Tech because I was quick and dirty to put that in there, and a lot of people just call me MPT anyways. But then I have another channel that's called Define Apple,
Yep.
and that's kind of been an Apple-focused channel. And I guess from the creator perspective, it's almost my cheat code because I can take all the stuff that I've learned from my primary channel over the last 2.5 years and use that for that one. So I can start off with like a clean slate. So I don't have any of the, I guess, crap quality videos in there filling it up. But at the same time, it's a huge disadvantage because it's like starting from zero is a scary thing. Now,
For sure.
fortunately, I have some people that just subscribed over there, other creators and stuff, to show their support and things like that. And then, I've gained a couple people in there of I have 10, and I think about half of them are people that follow me on Twitter that aren't creators, that are like subscribers and stuff. So that's,
Oh, that's awesome.
and trying to get views is complicated because people think, well, you can just make Apple content and you'll get the views.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that.
Not always the case. I mean,
Because,
I was a complete Apple channel, and I got a lot of views, but I felt, and I still kind of feel that um, the comments, I wish I had got more comments out of people so I know if I'm actually doing the right thing or not, you know. Um, and I know that there's like, the analytics and this, that, but I just wish that the public who watches would communicate more and, But nonetheless, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm having a ton of fun. I mean, the last video with my friend Hugo, who happens to be in chat right now. What's up, Hugo? What's up? And the last video I did with him was mad fun. I mean, just behind the scenes, man. Like, there's some clips that listen, I can't even explain. Um, I have to send it to you. I don't know if I did or not, but it was hilarious. And I'm just sitting here like, I've never had so much fun recording. Because as you know, I do everything by myself most of the time. But that was one video that I'm like, I'm out. He likes recording stuff, so I'm like, hey, you want to record video with me? He's like, sure. So we ended up doing that. We drove to a nearby park, and it was mad fun. The weather could have been better. I mean, it was cloudy, but at least it wasn't sunny or hot. So because we would have died at that park where cause we would have been like right near the sun. It would have been horrible, but it was fun nonetheless. I really liked it. But going back to what I was saying, there's just some content that like I'll get very little views, and right there I'll say, okay, well, they don't like this. But I just wish people would communicate more and say, hey, maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that, so I can know what to do for the next video. Because a lot of the time, I'm doing this and it's videos that come to me like last minute. It's not like something I plan for a very long time. A lot of them are, but a lot of them aren't. So I
liked the vlog style that you did.
That was amazing. I gotta say that was like one of the best videos. And that I don't know if you saw that I tweeted out and said, I should I do more? Because honestly, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But at the same time, it would be hard because my parents don't have patience to help me out. I don't, I can't go out by myself and do it. So it would take someone who has the patience, Hugo, to, say, hey, let's go out, let's record, let's have fun, So I would love to do more, and I'm definitely going to be doing more outside of, in my backyard. But out in the public like that, I don't think it's going to be for a little while, Okay. Next video, we're going to record it in the middle of the Atlantic on a boat walk creek. So you mean in your basement with a green screen? So, yeah.
Shark bait, hoo ha ha.
Really, man? Oh man, that's too funny. That's too funny. But no, I I had a lot of fun, and just seeing the comments and people actually DMing me saying, "Hey, you did a great job." Like that was like, wow! I never expected it. I never expected it. So I definitely want to do more more content like that because I had a lot of fun.
People like when you just sit down, talk, and then I mean that's basically what you did, and then talk. You said what the video is going to be about real quick. Then you showed off what the product, I guess you could say, and
Yep.
then you showed more footage using it, and then you ended, and it was like simple to the point, not a lot of extra, and there was a little bit of humor in there, and it was, and people and when you're outside, people like that because like I think especially now because of the last year and a half, people almost year and a half, people spending most of that inside. So seeing videos where people are outside.
Yep.
And I speculate that there's been an increase of shut-ins due to the pandemic because people like
Oh yeah.
had to
Yeah.
stay home and then they got comfortable with it, or they became paranoid to leave their house because they were worried about getting sick. And even
Yep.
though a lot of the areas that's gone down, it like established that into, because some people's brains are wired that way, and unless they were exposed to that situation, they would have been fine. But now that they have been, they wouldn't.
I'm sorry, I had to. Listen, man, you know what? I mean, it is kind of true. Kind of. No, I actually have to have it. No joke. I actually have the habit of always putting the guest's name in the title. So that's just something I always do. But go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry. I just had to.
I was gonna say to Hugo, I don't think that he could have your name in the title all the time, because I don't think you're allowed to swear or use inappropriate terminology in titles.
And for the record, Hugo, yes, I did send the clip to Michael, and he laughed his butt off about it. Just wanted to let you know. Listen, that was
This title has been marked for a review. Please adjust and send back.
Oh God, please don't. Please don't. Oh man, that was hilarious. So
you do have to be careful though, like putting people. I did a I don't know if you saw that collaboration that I did that was 2-part video at all, that shot on my phone did. He's a newer creator, and I did
no,
a
I'm not.
iPad collaboration with him. I retweeted the first part. I forgot to go retweet or tweet out the second part, but basically talking about iPad and iPad OS, and then we kind of strayed from there. So it was actually a 2-hour. I sat down and did a 2-hour FaceTime with him, and he clipped it down to 2 half-an-hour ones,
Oh
and then
wow.
he's going to do like the full length later, because we kind of strayed off into other stuff. So if people want to hear like the conversation on things that were kind of separate from that topic, they'll be able to still do that later. And it was a good conversation, but of course now I forgot what my whole point of even what I was saying. That's fun. Oh, but having my name in the title is good for that.
Yep.
But like, I think the mistake that people make is putting somebody's name too early in like their name should be at the end.
Yep.
Because you know how the search prioritizes words, so you want to have the words that are going to be more searched earlier on. That's why one of the best tricks for people, instead of just saying like iPhone 12 Pro Max review,
Yep.
they can say Apple iPhone 12 Pro Max review, because Apple will be searched, or will link even if somebody's looking for like a MacBook review. Sometimes just the word Apple and review being in there will show that to them. It's messed up because I have that happen. I've had videos I was like, how is this even related? And it's showing up in my search.
Listen, man.
Like,
listen.
I'm like, I searched for Galaxy Book Pro 360 review. Why is there an iPad Pro M1 2020 like app suggested video in here?
You know, I honestly feel like YouTube is broken when it comes to that. Like, honestly,
I think it's because those are usually way down, and I think it's probably because it's like, well, if you scroll this far, maybe we should suggest you things that we know that you might watch based on what other things you've searched recently or watched, and that makes sense. But
so you know how like sometimes I'll put older videos into the newer videos if I'm actually talking about something. And then I'll say, go check out this video if you guys want to see the rest of the topic, whatever. There'll be times like I'll try to search for my own video and I'll put my channel name and the title of the video, and I'll still won't be able to find it. Next video, filming the Atlantic Ocean thumbnail too. Getting you.
Hugo's playing the shark.
Yeah. I mean, not wrong about that, man. Not wrong about that. So, we've completely gone into a separate thing, but I do want to talk about what the live stream is about, which is Spotify. I can't with Hugo. I can't. No. Listen, Hugo, if you come over here to troll the freaking chat over here, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
Well, yeah, he could play a great mermaid because we already know how he handles tails. He spins a great one.
Oh man, that's funny. Hey Hugo, if you want to come in after we're done streaming and you want to just chill, we can do that after, man. But let me know.
So, Green Room is interesting because I like the additions that they're doing, but and then I like the idea that because I feel like for the most part, there's a decent number of people that already have Spotify. So for them to just sign in with the same account, simple, ready to go, one click, sign in, is good. Now, on the other hand,
can I just say,
if you have a weird username, if you have a weird username for your Spotify or something, or a different name, then you kind of have to go change that. For example, I know Viper, he might have had his legal name as his Spotify, but then he changes that because he doesn't ever say what his actual name is, and he doesn't want that showing up on any of the. So he'd go in and change, which is interesting because I wonder how that works, because I know that in a lot of them they say that you have to sign up using your legal name. But and it defaults to that as your username, so you must be able to go change that afterwards. So you'd have to sign up, go in, and then change that right away before anybody clicks in and sees, I guess. Because most of them, when you sign up, that shows as your default name too. But Spotify's different. Spotify is a little different because you can pick your, you have your name that you put on your account, but then you pick your username, and that's the public part of it. So that's easy. But I think Clubhouse and stuff, I know when you sign up for Twitter, they tell you have to give your legal name, but then you pick your username. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, and of course, now with Twitter having, some people have access to it, the tip jar.
Yep.
I know. But the way that they did that, you technically wouldn't have to give your legal name because Twitter isn't collecting the money. It's just essentially linking you out to PayPal or whatever you choose as the source of to have them send you money through or whatever. But Clubhouse, you can get paid on Clubhouse, so then they would have to have that for tax purposes, but that would just be on their end. So, but I like it. The audio quality is really nice.
It's beautiful.
Haven't seen as many people having issues like Twitter Spaces crashes for some people a lot.
Yeah.
I've also noticed that, like, actually at Clubhouse, I've noticed more people breaking up. Like, they'll be talking and all of a sudden halfway through a sentence, it's like every other word you hear, and then it's like fades away and then it comes back. I've noticed that lately. Several
Really?
people had that issue, and
I
Viper
only use.
Viper has his coffee talk
Yep.
Clubhouse in the morning, and I was on there, and there were a couple of people that had issues where it just all of a sudden did that.
Yeah.
And I think it's
I don't
the
know why,
other thing
but
I would wonder is if that depends on what they choose as their audio quality, because I I don't know, I would show you, but I'm using my iPhone for the camera, but because in the Clubhouse app, there's the little
speaking about
hamburger menu.
Viper,
There's the three little dots in
what's
the
up,
upper
Viper?
right hand corner that you can click on and choose audio quality. And
Yep.
by default, it's at like low or medium. So I think it's at medium if you're on Wi-Fi and low if you're not.
Yep.
So I wonder how many people check that and turn it up to high quality if they have if they have a solid connection either on on Wi-Fi or data or whatever, because I that should make a difference as far as like bit rate and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. That's true.
but like Spotify Green Room is pretty nice. I like the little almost like private chat that's in there. I mean,
Yep.
it's not really private chat, but it's like, so for people that don't know, YouTube, you have the comments, but then StreamYard has a private chat. So like I could send a message like, for let's say something happened real quick right now and I needed to go. I could go into the private chat and message Taylor and be like, "Hey, I gotta go," and he could
Yeah.
see it and he could like smoothly transition it out like nothing happened.
Yep. Yep.
Green Room has basically like DM, like a thread of chat that can go on as well as the audio. And it's kind of nice because let's say we were in there and we do a green room about um, YouTube content creation equipment. And I'm talking about stuff. I could post the links to what I'm talking about in there so people can go click on it, go buy it or whatever.
Right.
Um, Now, that's one thing I need to look into. Um, as far as like their terms and services for posting links,
Yep.
um, because I don't know as far as how that works, like if you're allowed to post affiliate links in there or not, because
Right.
that's because some of them might be like, nope, because Spotify, uh, you know, although you can be in a green room with the free version of Spotify, so it wouldn't be a matter of like, well, you're paying for it, so that would be like a conflict of interest or whatever. Um, so I'll have to look into that, and then also, I know that
So,
people have done is green room on like a live stream like this, whether or not
yeah,
you can have
that
people
was,
come in
I
and
was
do the audio crossover, and
yeah,
whether it's
that's
just
what
a
I was
matter of
going
like
to ask.
the other ones like I think Twitter Spaces they don't really care. Um,
Yeah,
but
because
like
Viper's
Clubhouse,
been.
you have to put in the title on Clubhouse like live on YouTube or whatever, and or like let's say you were using one and you were just recording a video, you'd
Yep.
have to say in there that it's being recorded. Originally, you couldn't do that at all, and then they kind of added in there like, okay, if people know ahead of time and you can clearly show us that they know, which
Hmm.
posting it in the title and the description, basically that's an assumption that if you're in there, that you're okayed that live streaming of it or the recording of it because it's right in the title and the description clearly in front of you. So that's what I think kind of when it comes to green room with that.
Yep.
Um, and I will say though, if anybody's on an iPhone or iPad or Mac, well, I haven't. it worked okay on my Mac.
Oh, you can
I
actually
will say,
go on it on Mac?
because they made it available for the M1 models. They made the iPad and
Oh, okay.
iPhone app version of it available, but it
Yeah.
is horrible. I was like, why does the iPad version of it look okay, but then when I go and put it on my Mac, it's awful. Like everything's compressed, like the interface is all like compressed and um but
I think everybody got confused thinking that we were going to do a green room and not a live stream about green room. Because Miles said the same thing earlier when I came live. He's like, I thought this was going to be on green room. Like, what? So, like, yeah, that. Sorry about that, guys. Little confusion. I'm sorry about that. But no,
so that I think um oh, what I was gonna say is, so if you're on like betas, iOS or iPad OS beta, be wary because, well, I don't know anymore because beta 3 came out today,
yeah,
but the app was crashing. Like, well, basically what happened is it would come in every time I tried to join in, my audio just wouldn't come through or anything, and then all of a sudden it was doing like weird glitches, like it would show everybody's muted, but somebody's talking. So it was like a interface issue. And
yeah, I
so
saw
I had to
that.
go over to Android and use it, and then it was fine. But
Who
if
was
you don't
it?
have an Android device, then you'd be
Yeah,
kind of
who was the person you were on yesterday with? Because I saw that, and you were on. I think it was Green Room, or was it? No, it was Twitter Spaces. You were on Twitter Spaces, and I saw a glitch like that too. Um,
so I would say right now,
but
in order of like, I think Clubhouse is still kind of at the top as far as like stability, um, and stuff. And
yep.
then I would say Twitter Spaces. Um, I only put Twitter Spaces at second place, and then Green Room at third. I would flip them. If That's a tricky one because I like the fact that you have the messaging in Green Room,
Yeah.
and the audio
Right.
quality
I
seems really
thought.
good and stuff. But Twitter Spaces doesn't have it doesn't seem to have the stability. It's not as stable as Green Room,
Mm,
or it's not as stable as Clubhouse, but it seems to be more stable than Green Room slightly.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's one of those, like, they're kind of tied for second because it's like Green Room has more stability issues, but it has a feature that Twitter Spaces doesn't really have. Although you could DM somebody, but like you'd have to create a group DM of everybody in the Twitter space or something to like for everybody to see it or tweet out things. And the fact that it's just there and then it's gone when you're done, there's no, which I guess is kind of a downside. Like I I wish that like the chat that goes on like that there would be a way that like that's say linked to whoever started the green room. I wish that that would be like saved for them for 24 hours or something. So if somebody went,
Yeah.
what was the link for that, microphone on Amazon or whatever again? And then you could go in and just find it. And so then that's one of the
Yeah.
things, like if I was doing a green room and talking about different things and people are posting links, I would be sitting there like copying and pasting the links out to like a note or something all the time. So that way, if
Right.
somebody comes back and they're like, you could do that. And
Exactly.
or screen
Yeah.
capture, because I'm running iOS 15, I could do a screen capture and then just do live text to grab
Yeah.
all that stuff
Yeah.
out later.
Yeah, that is
which, by the
true.
way, is an underrated feature. I know I'm all over the place. Whatever, who cares? You know that these always end up kind of.
Listen, man, I am too.
But
I am too. So
that's one of my favorite features, and I know there'll be people that go, "Well, Android has had, Google whatever Lens, and it was called something before Lens, because Lens, I think, is what they changed it to. I want to say in Android 10, maybe,
yeah,
or 11. It might have even been in 11. Um, but anyways, that theirs is nice, but just like how Apple had the like smart links, where essentially it recognized a phone number, you could click on it and call. It would recognize an email address, you could click on it and send an email or add it to your contacts. Same thing with the phone number. Addresses you could click on and it would go to maps. They've had that for a while, and then Android kind of gained that across the board later. And I don't even think that, because there are some features that like Samsung has had,
yeah,
but like Android as a whole hasn't had. But I don't even
right.
think any of them had some of that stuff. And the same thing with like if you got a pin sent to you in a text message, the whole autofill thing.
That's true. Yeah,
On iOS and Mac OS and that. Um, but like, so some of the live text stuff is just incredible. I mean, the fact that it does it without you actually having to take a photo, so it can do it just by like you're holding up the camera and you put it over something, you could tap and do it. And the fact that it's like retroactive,
hmm,
so it doesn't have to be photos that you took on iOS 15. So like if you
yeah,
send me a photo and you're not on the beta, it just grabs that out of there. And it
right,
shows up for any photo that I've ever taken that it can grab that information from on there. One of the other things that's been interesting to me is that you can edit the metadata for a bunch of photos inside the Photos app. So, like, if the location is wrong, you could fix that, and you can like file names and stuff like that. But that kind of concerns me because, like, you could use that to. So, I'm assuming that there's something that will show that that's been altered,
yeah,
because otherwise there would be concern, like, if you got mad at somebody, you could totally alter the metadata of, like, I don't know. Let's say somebody and their girlfriend gets in an argument and the girlfriend's sending you a photo. You could like alter her location to show it as if she's sending the photo like by your house, and then call the police and be like, "Hey, she sent me this photo outside my door and she's stalking me," or whatever. Or he, or if it's a girl and the boyfriend could do that, or whatever. Um, so I'm assuming that in the metadata it would show. I mean, I know how to tell, because like photo forensics is a thing that can tell if that information's been edited. But at the same
yeah,
time, I also know how to edit it and make it look so nobody can know that it changed.
right.
Um, Now, there are ways, as long as you don't adjust the actual image itself. Like if you crop an image, you can tell, because that will the actual file size and the dimensions and all that information has changed. And even if you like went in and used AI to bump the resolution back up, so you kept it in the same aspect ratio, and that will all show. But there are ways to edit location data and like the time it was taken and the device that was used, and re-imprint that on there without people knowing, because um, well, you just have to understand how the code works. But anyway,
Right,
it's
right.
not that complex. But apart from that, like, I'm assuming that just the going in on your iPhone and doing it simply through that, then would show up somehow as far as like on your device. And of course, um, I don't want to get into the whole law aspect of that. Of course, they have to see it on the original device that it would be on, anyways, to verify that it hasn't been edited and they can use it as evidence. That gets all into that fun stuff. But I don't
Right.
know. It's just I've been really enjoying using iOS 15, iPad OS 15, SharePlay with the stuff that it works with right now.
Just tell me
Um,
one thing. Do you have secondary devices, or are you doing this on your main devices?
I'm a wild man. I use it on my main. I did have one glitch
How is this
today.
guy doing? Oh my god, I
I
can't.
did have one glitch today on my iPad. It froze up and I couldn't
Mhm.
even like restart. But it was something with the touch. It was something with the touch. And I used the Logitech Combo Touch keyboard, and so like the swipe on the keyboard wasn't working. So I think that's just a matter of the software
Yeah.
support for that needing to be changed. And
Mhm.
then when I disconnected it, like the screen wasn't sensing anything, and I think it was again that it thought that I was still um, connected to it, and I'm confused by Tech for Your Needs comment that just popped up
Yeah,
there.
I,
So
I was just about to say I'm a little confused. Just a little.
what is that? Tech for Your Needs. Can we get some clarification on what that was related to? What I was talking about? Because I just went through like
Yeah,
15 things in 30 seconds. So
Michael. Yeah, just Michael. Just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like
I
30 seconds.
literally just changed the subject like so quick there. Like talked about multiple things in a thread of like a run-on sentence, which is horribly grammatically incorrect. But we don't speak like we write. At least most of us don't.
Talking
Oh
about
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Changing the
Yeah,
message.
like a normal person won't know how to do that necessarily. And obviously, if you Google it, well, now that's in your search history, and that's an obvious thing.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And now that I've talked about it, I would be looked at under suspicion if something seemed off. But yeah, it is what it is. I would already be looked at just because of my educational history. So, because of being a criminal justice major and some of the things that you learn in there and talk about. So, it puts you at priority if some weird crime or something happens. But
Uh, Hugo, if you're still on here, the things that you're sending me in private message, man, you're in trouble. Just saying.
so I don't know. I think that so many different companies are doing these, rooms, spaces, whatever you want to call them, these audio like streaming, like mutual streaming services or mutual communicative streaming service. Clubhouse spaces, green room. Facebook has rooms. They've actually had those for a while. They were in beta for some people, but um, you know, Instagram will probably do. Well, since Facebook Messenger and Instagram kind of has where they've merged some things,
Yeah.
I would guess that they don't really need to do their own separate. But that's a little different because those rooms are basically like you create one and your friends and stuff can join. I don't know that anybody can join that. Like Twitter Spaces, for the most part,
Yeah, I've never
it doesn't have to
on my
be just
Facebook.
your followers on there. It can be anybody that can hop in there and do that. So
Yeah.
that
I've
also
never,
concerns me a little bit. I feel like these whatever you want to call them, audio like live podcast solutions or whatever, need to have an option where you can toggle it so it's like only people that are following you, and then there can be an option that you can like, for example, let's say you're having me on there, you could say, and people that are following Michael, or Michael is I guess, and people that Michael are not that are following me, but that I'm following, because otherwise somebody can go in and just follow me to get in, but
Right.
like people that, and then you can add in other people too, as far as like, I don't know, let's say Nikias Molina was on there, you could say, and people he's following, and you could,
And
per
is he
instance,
still in the Maldives or something? Because I haven't seen too much of him in a while.
I don't know, he's in somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere, all right. What's up, Tech Maniac? Well, how are you, man? Um,
He's way down in Kokomo.
probably he's somewhere around there. I've seen.
Tell me you get that reference.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Jamaica. I can't do that too long because, well, copyright strike stuff. But that's,
Oh man.
but also there, the intelligence of not singing that in the exact key and slightly delaying the rate of it will not then trigger it. So,
Right.
and is not a copyright violation. That's an interesting thing, by the way. So, if people are ever wondering, like, how is it that you see these people singing these songs on YouTube and they've not gotten in trouble? Well, there's a couple different reasons. One, they've either paid for rights to use it, for either like they would have had to pay for live performance rights for it, plus recording rights, plus there's another one. And so there's services where you can get all inclusive. All you do is click like the song you want, and it reaches out to the rights holders, and then they respond and say, yeah, we'll give you rights to all of that, or no, you can only have rights for live purposes for it, but you can't record it and get money from that and all afterwards. And if somebody else records it, then they can get in trouble too, unless for some reason they do have permission.
Right.
And the other thing is the little tricks of like, people will move it to a different key, but also use different chord, like transpose the chords and then slightly adjust things off, because just by moving the key and changing the chords doesn't necessarily get you away from copyright stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But and then there's free use. There's certain songs that are just in like free use public database, like in YouTube and stuff. And then you also have the fact that TikTok has a different policy on that, although that's also still been one of the reasons that you'll see when people are singing songs on there, and they have like music as the background for it, that it's usually slightly adjusted. Like if you know the original and then you look at theirs, it's slightly, because the other thing is words. With a song, you can't really copyright the words. It's more the music itself that they're. Yeah, party line.
So, I want to wrap up here, but I do want to ask you, what are your thoughts, um, of what Spotify could do um, to get better and to kind of differentiate from the other platforms that are similar to what Spotify is doing right now with Greenroom.
Not require you to have a Spotify account and to be able to come in with like a guest account. Also, not require you to have a Spotify account and being able to sign in through it with, because I know you can sign up for Spotify with like a Gmail, like you're just using your Google account. And I think on the iPhone you can also do sign in with Apple. But that's still like requiring you to actually sign up for a Spotify. It's just using that to sign up for the account. So being able to get in through it without necessarily having a Spotify account, because there are the people that don't want that. They just want to join in the space. Like, let's say I use Apple Music and I pay for that. I don't want to have to sign up for a Spotify account and have another thing that I'm keeping track of as well. I mean, I guess you can sign up just for account just to use for that, but I think that there's that. Also, I think that it would be neat to, and some people will disagree with this, but hear me out on this. I think it would be cool that if you're hosting the room,
Yep.
that you could have video in a way of like, but like, they should make it a bit. I don't know. So is Green Room? That's not available on desktop yet. It's just available through an app. But if they made that available through like browser and being able to share your, I think that would be cool for that. Not like your camera, but like to be able to share your, because if you're talking about something, it would be cool. I get that it's supposed to be audio only,
Yeah.
but like the idea that you can do that potentially. Of course, then I see people taking advantage of that and like running an ad or something.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
welcome to my green room, and then you have an ad that scrolls price through video on that. But that would be, I'm assuming, a violation of their terms and services because because most of these
I
you're
still.
not allowed to be you're not allowed to advertise with outside. So even like if you're a content creator and let's say your channel is completely sponsored by, like, let's say, I don't know, my channel is sponsored by some company for a year and they pay me out and they just say, um, we'll give you, I don't know, $100,000 and we'll sponsor you for a year. You're not allowed to have any other sponsors for videos. If a company sends you a product, that's okay, but they're not allowed to also pay you and say it's a spot. We basically outright are sponsoring you for a year. We're paying you all this money to cover that. You can't then be in a lot of these and be like, well, and this is brought to you by, because so then you would have to do, so what you would have to do is you'd have to do like your sponsorship on a live stream before you pulled in the audio from one of these, and then you'd have to bring the audio in, and
Right.
then you'd have to like leave one of these and then redo your sponsorship read. So there's ways around that if you're doing a mutual stream. Um, I just think, finding people, finding the rooms,
I was gonna
because you
say
have to like
that.
know a specific title almost. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Because like the only
unless
person.
somebody posts it on Twitter or DMs it to you or like pings you somehow,
Yeah.
um, you have to know really like the specific title or like what category they're under, because I've tried to find a couple of them just by putting in like tech or tech YouTube,
Yeah.
and it turned out it was under content creator or content creation is where I could find it. So it's like that, and being able to put it under more than one, so that way if somebody does search for it in a different thing, that it can.
Yeah.
Uh, and also like if you start a room, me and I'm following you on there, not necessarily at notifying me, because let's say I was following 1,000 people, I'd be constantly getting notifications. But
Right.
having that just when you open the app and you click and you click on somebody specific, and there could be a section of it that shows all the rooms that are active from the people you're following in a
Yeah.
section. So if you want to, but then just like if I click on Viper's name or I click on your name or I click on whoever's name, that and you're live, that it shows. And they could even have like a live symbol icon on your name before I even click on it, and then I click on it and I could get to it. These things are rather simple. Um,
Yeah. Like Tech Freeney's is saying, you got to remember that it's new and it'll get better.
yeah,
And
but how long has Spotify been around and developing their app? Like that's my thing. Like, yeah, I get it's a new
that's
way
true.
for them, but it's like they're
Yeah.
paying their app developer probably a pretty good amount of money to maintain that, and whenever
And
they want an update to push it out right away. So they probably just flung it to their app developers and like, here's our idea, we need to develop the app, and they went in and the thing is, and I know this because I've watched some videos and kind of heard people talking about making their own apps.
Yep.
For sometimes what they'll do is they'll go grab the code or they'll like download the dot on an iPhone, like the .app file or .ipa file of the app
Yep.
that already exists that's close to it. So like they could grab the Clubhouse app and then they'll use that code and then they'll go in and they'll alter it enough that they're not violating any causes or stealing it, that they can use that base layout as a way to start their app, and then they'll build it from there and change it to their own specific thing. But the thing is with these apps, I don't know, you can't really like, somebody could essentially clone the app because there's no right to it, because it's just audio and like, yeah, there's different UI and there's different options that have to be, but for the most part, there like certain apps like that you can't really, like a camera app, there can be a bunch of them that are identical and there's no real way to like, because that's kind of a free use thing. It's like Apple got away with it for a little bit, and I disagreed when they sued and said that they own the rights to a rectangle somehow. Like that whole thing,
What?
with the iPhone. When they sued Samsung
Oh
because
yeah,
they were like,
yeah.
they came up with the idea of like a shape of and like touch screen and all this and that.
Yeah, yeah. I heard.
Now the reason they won is because there was nothing like it, and it was obvious that Samsung changed their design layout to be closer with it because they had already leaked what their direction they were going with before the iPhone came out, and they quite literally did change to follow it, and they did it for a few years.
Right.
But that's different. Like, but now that the phones are out, if I started a phone company and made a phone that looked like S21 Ultra for the most part, basically identical to it, Samsung couldn't really sue me for that.
Yeah.
I'd just have to change things slightly, a few millimeters here, a few millimeters there, rotate the camera module or something. But, so many phones look alike from the front and even sometimes the back that it's like,
Well, that's what I
can't
say
really.
too.
So with these services, it's the same thing. Like they should just they should just look into the code and borrow some of that language from other apps if they can and make it
exactly.
just finding things. Like you have to be very specific. Can you imagine, like,
And it's
for
like
example, if
very
you
little
went to
things.
Google, right? If you went to Google
Yeah.
and you were looking for, and you typed in dogs and it showed you nothing until you searched specifically to like the breed and the age and like the color of that dog. That's
Yeah.
kind of what their search reminds me of. Like
Right.
you have to be very
Exactly. So,
precise with like the title of or like the type of room and the title of the room that you're looking for.
yep.
So finding things. And if they don't get on that, it's going to hurt them because nobody's going to be able to use it because they're not going to be able to know rooms that are. They'll be able to find. They'll be able to click and see ones from random people, but
Right.
for the most part, most of the people are probably going in there to look for ones with specific people that they know, and they know how it's run. And I guess maybe Spotify's idea is like, we want it to be where you just are finding random rooms, kind of like if YouTube didn't have a subscription model, so every video was just suggestions. So
Mm-hmm.
you would never find videos by the same people. And by the way,
mm-hmm.
well, some people might hate me for this. I actually think that would be brilliant on Google's part with YouTube to make it so that essentially if you want to find the same videos by the same people every time, that you would have to like search for it, because that would essentially make creators in a way have to actually create videos of substantial enough quality for people to come back. Because right now you could do 2 or 3 videos like that, and if somebody's subscribed, and then as long as you're creating good enough, or as long as you are dropping videos, it will pop up for them and they'll probably click and watch it.
Yeah.
But if they had to like search every time or like bookmark your page separately from it, I feel like that would promote that better. But at the same time, that would really hurt creators that are trying to start out because their stuff would like never get, because people would just have a list of people that they know to search for. But
Well,
at the same time, it would help because like if I'm going on there and I'm looking for an iPhone and people that I'm subscribed to are not either are not, well, because YouTube doesn't prioritize necessarily for people you're subscribed to. Yeah, they'll probably be closer to the top.
yeah,
But if the idea was everybody's was based on, it was based on the videos that people are putting out and the views that they are getting so far, and based on titles and content, and
yeah,
not based on some like, oh, you subscribe to them or maybe you haven't subscribed to them, and YouTube is like, no, actually we're going to push videos that you're not subscribed to because we want you to subscribe to more channels, and because then we can get more ads in, and we're likely to come across the video where like people have put ads in versus videos that don't have ads. And there's all sorts of things that get into that about like big channels that are monetized are going to be promoted first because YouTube ad gets ad revenue.
yeah.
And when you're not monetized, there's pre-roll ads, but
Hmm.
that's like before your video, but there's nothing in it, and
Yeah,
and most likely you're not seen as much by as many people. But that just gets into the complication of it. But I feel like that's something that Green Room really needs to get better with their search. I
definitely,
think they need to. I think they need
definitely.
to
Because
limit topics, like limit what topics can be used, because well, tech is like, well, okay, they can't restrict it too much, because if you just literally had a choice of like art, like music, photo, video, tech, like certain specific, and you couldn't go further into like pop, let's say for music, like pop, R&B, rap, hip hop, like narrow it down.
right,
But like when it comes to like they should have one that's under YouTube, but it shouldn't be like YouTube content creation.
yeah,
Like I feel like that's too, if
yeah,
you're
I
on
agree.
YouTube, you're a content creator. That's redundant. It
Right,
needs to be like tech, and then there could be specific companies. So if you're talking about just but that should be something that's in like your title that can be searched by.
yeah,
But I should be able, if I know that I'm looking for Viper in there or you in there, I should just be able to type in tech, and then it should show like, oh, this person's following them. Or I could type in your specific use. I should be able to type in like tech, and then, well, it'd be confusing because you have tech in the name of your channel. But
yeah,
still, I should be able
yeah,
to type in tech and then like TA Tech or whatever you go by on there. If you went by Taylor on there, I should be able to type in like tech Taylor, and
yeah.
then it should give me
The
all the
certain
Taylors that are under, that
right.
have a tech room that's active or have clicked tech as their, and then should be able to, and then I could narrow it down by putting like YouTube, or, well, I've already clicked on YouTube, so that's already narrowed it down. Like
Hmm.
these things would be really easy for them to implement. So,
Yeah, and I
or
hope
they
they.
could just, or they could just hire me to give them these ideas and look like developers and
For sure,
promote it. And
for sure. Um,
and
yeah,
then as part of my agreement, I would want them to quite literally give me a green room. I could pay for some office space that's green. So it'd be brilliant. I would love that. My ultimate goal someday actually is to rent a small office space, because I found some around here for like $250 a month, and then you pay your electricity, and then you pay like your electricity or whatever. I'm like,
yeah.
that would be really easy to do at some point. That's my goal, is to
Oh, that'd
actually
be
have
awesome.
like an office that I can go to like that.
Yeah,
Set up security cameras in there, of course, because you never can be too careful. Um,
right, right.
just because of safety, like if I'm there streaming at night and somebody wants to pull something, or like I'm gone and somebody wants to try to steal something, alarms, security cameras, but like green wall, just like would be awesome. Um, So I don't know. That's kind of my
for sure, for sure.
thoughts
Um,
on
well, thank you for coming on and sharing your thoughts. Um, I completely agree with everything you said. You know,
No, you don't. You're a liar. I got you
wow,
off guard on that, didn't I? I'm
wow.
sure there's probably something in there I said that you didn't agree with that you just don't remember. It's usually the case. No, I'm just
Well, no,
I'm
I
just
do.
kidding.
No, I do agree with mostly everything you said. It is true. You know, I do want to see what things that they do. I think for the most part, things are pretty stable and really good. Um, One thing that I personally noticed, I did a green room and I sent it to my email, and the audio was completely screwed up. So I think that um, I, I don't know, maybe it was just me and the way I was because I didn't have headphones. But I'd like to see the audio a little bit better, just slightly better. Again, maybe it was just me because I didn't have headphones, but um, that's pretty much it. I mean, I love it. I have very little experience with apps like the Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse. I don't have much experience with Clubhouse at all because I think I only used Clubhouse like once to go to Viper's Clubhouse room, and that was it. So it'll be interesting to see what's going to be coming out with that. But
I
Michael,
will say, Taylor, thank you for being such a fun guy. And by the way, that's a joke because you have champion on your shirt and the French word for mushroom is champignon. Yes, I went bilingual on that one. That's a far reach, but that's how I am.
oh man, Michael, you are too much, and this is why I like having you on stream because you are the light of the party, man. You really are.
We
So
are the. Never mind, I won't finish.
jeez. Well, thank you, Michael, for coming on and talking to us.
Yeah, thanks to people who came by and watched my randomness. It
Yeah,
was like I don't know. It was like my brain decided that it couldn't pick the specific word for SEO, and it just threw everything in there.
right.
Like just garbled that.
So very quickly here, shout outs to Michael Miles Tech, King Night Karma 296, Hugo Brito, my great friend Hugo, what's up? Viper, thank you for coming on, man. Tech Mania needs you as well, Tech Maniac, and everybody who came on and talked to us. Um, Very awesome stream as always, and hopefully we'll see you guys in a future live stream. I am going to say I am trying to get somebody into a green room. Hopefully on Friday. I'm still going to reach out to them to see if it's okay with them and they're actually free to do that. And so, if you guys are interested, just pop on my social media, and the link will be there. I will be posting either tomorrow or the day after to let you guys know that it's actually happening. So, like I said, just follow me on social media when it comes to that, and you guys will know what's going to be going on. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Michael, is there something you want to say before we end here?
I thought you were I thought you were gonna say hop on my shoulders instead of social media. Because when you said it, when you went to say social, you were like hop on my. I was like, what is that?
I saw his face, and I'm like, he wants to say something before we end here. So,
But seriously, hop on his shoulders. Hop on my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook,
I want to know one
my
thing. Why is
YouTube.
there only one person watching this whole thing? Like, we had 4 or 5 people, and then it just dropped down to 1. What? Everybody
Because
went
people
to
don't like have fun. Have fun apparently. Bunch of lazy,
All right,
no
guys.
fun people.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.